Well, this morning, North Korean state media has just debuted some new footage that was shot during the Trump-Kim summit in Singapore. Take a look at this. Okay, so the president extends his hand to this North Korean general. The general responds with a salute. The president returns the salute, and then both men shake hands. Why is this significant? Our military analyst, former Rear Admiral John Kirby, is back with me. Why is this so striking?
It's so striking because it was, released by North Korean state TV, which means they can see a propaganda value here. And this is basically them showing the level of deference and respect that Trump has paid to them and to their military leaders. It was an inappropriate thing for him to do from a protocol perspective, but now he's played right into the North's propaganda about their legitimacy on the world stage.
So what should he have done?
He should have just nodded his head when the general saluted and reached out his hand and did a handshake. That's the appropriate thing. Look, he's the commander-in-chief. He doesn't even salute his own generals. They salute him. That's the way it works. And you certainly don't do it with leaders of foreign militaries, and most certainly don't do it with the leaders of foreign militaries of an adversary nation.
Look, in the 48 hours since this summit, he has been incredibly flattering and complimentary of Kim Jong-un. He has equivocated when asked by Fox News, well, what about the human rights atrocities? What about the execution of his own people? And now this. Are you surprised?
I wish I could say I was surprised, Poppy. I'm not. He is on a charm offensive of his own, a charm offensive that I think is being orchestrated to some degree by President Xi and President Moon Jae-in of South Korea, who want to revert it to the Sunshine Policy, to show deference to the North, so to get them to open up at the negotiating table. And this is just another ham-fisted Trump way of trying to do that.
The question is, does it help us get to the end goal? Does it help towards denuclearization, right?
Well, that remains to be seen, Poppy. I mean, look, playing devil's advocate, there's a logic here that, his own charm offensive might, in fact, lead to the North loosening up a little bit and making some big changes over time. And I think we just have to wait and see if that pans out. But I would remind your viewers that the Sunshine Policy in the past has not worked.
Hasn't worked.
I'm all for engagement and discussion, but I do think that President Trump is going overboard here.
Admiral Kirby, appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Today in Good Lord, what did he do this time? President Donald Trump is being criticized for not holding an umbrella over his wife and son during a rainstorm, and instead hogging it all for himself. POTUS, Melania Trump, and their son Barron were seen ascending the stairs to Air Force One, and not only did Melania and Barron not have umbrellas, Trump seemingly refused to share his in what was clearly bad weather. And, unsurprisingly, Twitter universe was unimpressed. Advertisement: continue reading Bella. It would never even occur to my husband to cover himself if my daughter and I were standing with him in a storm. He's such a disgrace. https://t.cotscu5w3, Mrs. SMH at MRSSMH2 January 16, 2018. Oh, and here's a video. There's speculation that Trump was trying to protect his hair from the elements, which, sure, but maybe not at the expense of his loved ones. Today in Good Lord, what did he do this time? President Donald Trump is being criticized for not holding an umbrella over his wife and son during a rainstorm, and instead hogging it all for himself. POTUS, Melania Trump, and their son Barron were seen ascending the stairs to Air Force One, and not only did Melania and Barron not have umbrellas, Trump seemingly refused to share his in what was clearly bad weather. And, unsurprisingly, Twitter universe was unimpressed. Advertisement: continue reading Bella. It would never even occur to my husband to cover himself if my daughter and I were standing with him in a storm. He's such a disgrace. https://t.cotscoo5w3, Mrs. SMH at MRSSMH2 January 16, 2018. And here's a video. There's speculation that Trump was trying to protect his hair from the elements, which, sure, but maybe not at the expense of his loved ones.
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
About the 2 scoops of ice cream when I was kidding off the top, but apparently this little nugget came out of this Time magazine piece where apparently the president gets 2 scoops, you know, everyone else around the table gets 1, and no word if there were sprinkles.
Right. Well, the broader point here is that they were trying to make in the Time article is, you know, like the White House staff has adapted to Donald Trump's taste. So when everyone else gets water, he gets a Diet Coke. When everybody gets 1 scoop of ice cream, he gets 2. Look, my 2 children would gladly be president if they...
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.